Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. The name of my channel is the same as my name, and the theme is Passion for the Soul. I do my own videos based on my work as Life Between Life hypnotherapist here in Sweden since 10 years, and I also interview guests. Today I'm lucky because my guest is in the house. It is you, Dorothea, and what is your name?
Dorothea Fuckert.
Yes, and we spent days here. It was the third time I met you. We met at first in the Michael Newton International Conference. I think it was 2017. And then I visited you when I did my Life Between Life session. And you helped me with many, many things with my books, writing forwards in 2 books. And we stayed in touch. And during these days, we've been talking about things, what is close to our hearts, both as women and therapists. So would you like to open by, if you want to say something more about yourself and what we would like to talk about today?
Thank you, Rita. It's such a pleasure to be in your house and to share so many things with you, to discuss topics, and now to do this presentation together, this talk. My idea is that it always comes down to the question, how can we care for our well-being on a day-to-day basis? After all kinds of therapies and spiritual experiences and reading books, it's always the question the next day, what can I do, or how can I share for my well-being? And my idea is to integrate the so-called inner child with my adult child. And the inner child I can divide in 2 parts: the wounded child and the inner sun child. And there is so much help for the inner wounded child already, to heal the inner child, to integrate it. My focus today is more on the inner sun child, because it represents the soul in us. The inner sun is the soul, and we can draw from it. We can charge up from this part in us and use all its resources and strengths and inherent divine qualities even.
Yes. Shall I? Yes, that sounds wonderful. And you mentioned that there's many different therapies, many theories, many books. And how would you like to? What is your experience from the inner soul, the soul child, the sun child, healing us? Could you develop it more?
Sure. For instance, I give an example. Oh, by the way, the term inner sun child stems from a German psychotherapist. Her name is Stephanie Stahl. She wrote a book about the inner child, and she focuses on the inner sun child as well. So as an example, let's say I wake up in the morning, and I look joyfully to the coming day. Then I have my breakfast and I listen to the radio, to the news. And suddenly I get a bit frightened or a bit angry, or insecure. So, of course, I know that whenever I feel not so good as an adult, I can see it as an inner wounded child, a child which is in need for something. And as I said, there are so many kinds of inner healing already for this child. But I can also then overlap it with all the resources from the inner sun child. And I can imagine the inner wounded child sitting in a room, anxious or confused or angry, whatever. And then I also can imagine that this sun child of me is in a wonderful place on a meadow, on a sunny day, jumping over the grass, and I can remember the feeling of this part of my inner child, the happiness, the joy, the positive beliefs, the resources as a child, all the resources. And it's not about wiping away the unpleasant feelings, but just to overlap them, or better said, to wrap them, to wrap the pleasant feelings around these unpleasant feelings.
Right. Yes. Through my life, of course, it's my own life as a person, as a woman, as a child, and as a young woman, and all these stages. And then becoming a therapist, all these years, I noticed I cannot bypass my own life, myself, and this I've seen over and over again, that I cannot be of assistance for anybody if I haven't healed myself. And it was basically through this insight that I also through my clients could see some phenomena over and over again. Basically what you started with, that it's on the daily life basis that we know how much we healed. So would you like to say something about your background with body therapy?
Sure.
Yes.
I'm a family doctor.
Yes.
And licensed psychotherapist, working since more than over 4 decades. And my specializations have been body psychotherapy, according to Wilhelm Reich, Gestalt, trauma therapy, hypnotherapy, and later regression therapy, life between life therapy, Dr. Michael Newton's life between life therapy, which I offer since 16 years meanwhile.
Yes.
So especially the life between life hypnotherapy is a wonderful method. We both offer that, we work with it, and it brings a client in connection with his soul, the soul which is immortal, which brings its inherent divine qualities into the incarnation, also old unresolved themes, of course, and that is a very efficient therapy, as you know, very, very efficient. Nevertheless, in my daily life, And I know that from all people I know, from my clients as well as from my friends and my family, relatives. What still stays as a challenge is to come into balance over the course of the day, over the course of each day.
Yes.
To come back into balance between unpleasant feelings and pleasant feelings.
Right.
So-called negative thoughts and positive thoughts.
Right. Yes.
And my experience is that most efficient is in that rebalancing, in this regular rebalancing, is to recognize the unpleasant negative feelings as wounded child parts,
right,
or past life parts. Doesn't matter. The symbol of the inner child is very effective, as you know.
Sure.
Yeah, we can handle that, can work with that very well, and then to draw from all the positive gifts of the soul, which is represented by the sun child inside. So, for instance, if I recognize a moment of being sad or anxious, insecure, it can be just for 5 minutes, but I want to rebalance myself.
Yes.
I remember then recognizing that, accepting that, understanding these feelings, holding my inner child onto my heart, then remembering positive childhood memories.
Yes.
How I happily stroll through nature, for instance, and how it felt really, which bodily sensations I had, or what kind of emotional feelings like carelessness, being forgotten, being absorbed, being curious, feeling totally free, being spontaneous, playing with other kids. It's a wonderful resource.
Yes.
Remembering playing with other kids from the neighborhood, outside in nature, totally free in our own world, and to reintegrate these sensations and feelings into around the unpleasant feelings, you know? So wrap wrap the unpleasant feelings with these pleasant feelings.
That's wonderful.
And it includes, this rebalancing would include the memory. What did I believe then? I believed I'm worthwhile to be happy, for instance. I'm loved. I'm free to explore the world. I'm free to enjoy my body, and it includes remembering my strengths, the various strengths I had as a child. For instance, climbing up a tree. This physical strength and this flexibility.
Yes.
This pleasant feeling in the body. And it would also include, the rebalancing would include to recall my resources as an adult, of course. And that could be, I have a nice house I live in a nice house. I enjoy music,
Yes.
nature.
Mm.
I have a loving family.
Mm.
I love reading books. Um, I
Mm.
have very good friends.
Yeah.
So recalling all that, because you know many people, you know that from your daily practice
Yes.
as a therapist, many people uh, go into a problem trance.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
Yes.
they focus on the problems, on the
Mm.
challenges,
Right.
on the wounded inner child,
Mm.
and the other side is forgotten
Mm.
almost.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, maybe you want to
Yes.
add something.
Yes. While you, it's wonderful to listen to you, Doro, and I know we know this saying, and many of you listeners maybe you do too, that it's not our darkness that we're afraid of, but our light. And this comes to my mind as we're speaking, as I listen to you, that to think of the problems is a survival thing, I guess, too, to see all the dangers. So that's physiological in a sense, but it gets stuck. You get easily get stuck in it. So that's what I think. Why I think the sun child is so wonderful. The what you were talking about. Yes. So is there anything you would like to add or send out to our listeners, a simple practice or something, just to give as a gift?
Yes, I would like to give you, dear listeners and watchers, the advice to really give yourself time every day, time and space for this, and attention to this sunchild. It's really a kind of self-responsibility. The highest responsibility we can take over for ourselves is to give us time and space and attention to play with the sunshine. However it is pleasant, however it increases your well-being, be it by playing the piano or going for a walk or chatting with a friend or just calming down and sensing your body. And the best advice I can give you is imagine that you have uh, an inner light. Your soul, your sunshine is your inner light. Or the other way around, your true being is your sunshine, is your soul. And imagine that you can turn on an inner or a central light switch inside and let it shine as intensively as possible. Let it shine into all darker corners of yourself, and let yourself illuminate, radiate by that central light in you.
Oh, that's beautiful. It just, a song came to me. It's a very short song. I had an uncle in New York whose name's Harry, and he always used to sing to me, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. Don't even know, dear, how much I love you. Don't ever take my sunshine away. Okay, so thank you, Doro.
Thank you,
you,
Rita.
listeners. Thank myself too, and
Let your inner sunshine shine.
right, I agree. Bye bye, everybody. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.